Raiders were the worst offense in the entire NFL last year.
Or a team that has an incredibly high ceiling or an incredibly low floor. So
Terry's also either restructured or gone next year. So
yeah.
the receiver.
Welcome back to the desk.
Welcome back, baby.
It
It's
is
Monday again.
Monday. Who you got today?
I have got a soft sell, as has been my custom for the past few weeks, on Fernando Mendoza.
Mm.
And he is sitting in the same range of a lot of my other soft sells. He's right there next to Jordan Love, next to Nico Collins, Kenneth Walker III. And this range in the mid fourth round is just a place where I like to either tier up or tier back from. I'll be clear, these players are super liquid, and I do prefer them in a sense that I would pick them before I pick the guys in the late seventh round.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know what I'm expecting from Mendoza this year. I mean, the Raiders were the worst offense in the entire NFL last year. And yet, in both redraft and dynasty, they've got two guys going in the first two rounds. The expectation is that this offense turns around considerably.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mendoza's price tag is reflecting that a little bit. I'll be clear. I don't hate Mendoza on rebuilds. If you know it's a 1-year rebuild, I think he's got high value preservation.
Yeah.
And he's not going to score many points. But for anything else, anybody that's a tweener team or a competitive team, I like tearing down to guys like Kyler Murray a lot more. I don't mind tearing up to the Patrick Mahomes, Jackson Dart range, or even doing a pivot at a couple positions where you're getting Purdy or Dak or something like that. Instead, I just think all of those guys probably are going to be a lot more productive than Mendoza. And this year, and I mean,
and probably
even for a couple years, what about Mendoza's profile is so stunning? He's a good player, and he went 101, so he'll have some value preservation. But just because somebody goes 101 doesn't necessarily mean that they're great. Cam Ward went 101, and he's a 7th round startup pick and should be. Bryce Young went 101, and he's a 9th round startup pick and should be. And I think these guys have just as good a shot at turning around what was a bad offense this year as Mendoza does. So I just don't love the early 4th round or mid 4th round price tag on him. I'd rather tier up or tier down.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And the Raiders are. It's not like I don't expect the Raiders to be a top offense this year. I don't expect the Raiders to be a top offense next year. I do think if they build out their offensive line, I think they have a couple really dynamic pieces with Bowers and Genty that if they add a receiver to that mix, then Mendoza has better tools at his disposal than either of the two guys you just mentioned. So I do think that's the leg up. But agreed, if you're tweener or you're competitive, especially if you're competitive this year, if you're tweener, then maybe you're selling some other pieces and going more towards that rebuild. And you keep a Mendoza, but you sell other stuff around him if you think he's going to be the guy. But yeah. So my guy this week is Antonio Williams, another rookie.
Ooh,
The
Commander.
Washington Commanders. Reason being is who is the Commanders' number 2 wide receiver, Camden?
Well, it was going to be Brandon Ayuk,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure how likely that is anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's wide open.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to be Williams, but it's wide open. And we've seen what a De'Ami Brown's going to do. We've seen, the other guys on their roster. We kind of know. I mean, Jalen Lane's a little up in the air, but still, we don't know. So I like the guy who all of his reports is, he's not going to blow the lid off, but the Commanders don't have a single guy on their team who's going to blow the lid off. It's a separate issue. But he runs very crisp routes. He catches the ball. Who does that sound like? It sounds like Scary Terry to me. Yep. Runs crisp routes, catches the ball. Not saying he's Scary Terry, but clearly that's a valuable asset to an offense.
And
And if he
McLaurin was
can
also a third-round pick. They don't hit
exactly,
that often, but he will have opportunity.
he will have opportunity. And
Yeah.
if what happened in college translates to the NFL and he can get separation, and when Jaden Daniels throws on the ball, he catches it, he's gonna have a spot on the field. And right now there is a big giant void of where the ball is gonna go aside from McLaren. So I think if you can get him for cheap, get him involved in a little trade, yes, it's absolutely a flyer, but I think this is a pick that could absolutely hit. Hey guys,
And if he
thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you don't mind, like and subscribe below.
and if you want a free roster review, check out the Google form in the description. Your team could be featured in one of our videos. See you in the next one.